species most of us are familiar with, as we know them for their large bodies and love of the cold. In these next few minutes, I will cover the research I've done on moose and how our environmental destruction is costing them. We have not given them nicknames, as their full English name is simply moose, and the Latin name is alces. They belong to the animal kingdom and are members of the Chordata phylum because of their vertebrae. They are classified as mammals, which we will learn more about later when talking about their reproductive process. They are part of the Artiodactyla order because of their even number of hooves on their feet. As for the family, they belong to the Cervidae family because of their close relation to deer. Moose can always be found above the equator. In North America, they can be found in Canada, the states bordering Canada and the US, and down the Rocky Mountains reaching Utah and Colorado. Outside of North America, they are found in Sweden, New England, Ukraine, northern Kazakhstan, northern China, and northern Mongolia. As far as their habitats, moose live in cold environments that receive seasonal snowfall. They cannot tolerate temperatures higher than 80 degrees Fahrenheit, so they will never be found in hot areas. They roam in forests and seek out bodies of water such as lakes or ponds. They're decent swimmers and often use these waters to take a dip to cool down when needed. With a population of about 1.5 million, moose are fairly unsocial animals. Mating times and raising their offspring are typically the only times they can be found together. Breeding occurs in September and October. In those months, males, called bulls, will herd females, called cows, to protect them from other bulls to win a potential mate. Another option they have is to challenge a dominant bull to the right to mate. Moose are polygynous, meaning bulls will have more than one cow as a mate at the same time. The reason bulls have more than one mate but cows do not is because cows produce on average one offspring, called a calf, per lifetime, but twins are also common. About half of calves born do not live past 6 weeks because they are prey to wolves and bears. Cows are pregnant for about 231 days. Moose reach sexual maturity by age 2, but aren't fully mature until age 4 or 5. The survival rate for cows is very high at 95%, while the survival rate for bulls varies due to competition between males and hunting. The typical lifespan of a moose is 8 to 15 years, while some have reached upwards of 22 years. If you spot a moose, you could identify them as such because of their height and size, being that they are the tallest mammal and member of the deer family. Males can be identified by their antlers, which can grow out to 6 feet, while cows have smaller ears that stick up. All moose are brown or black, have short tails, large ears, and a hump on their shoulders. They will also likely be found alone, unless in the act of mating or raising an offspring. Moose are most closely related to elk, which can also be found in the deer family. Unlike moose, elk live in herds and are very social with each other, so they can be differentiated by that if found. The larger biological issue that impacts moose is the warming of temperatures due to climate change. As stated before, moose cannot tolerate temperatures higher than 80 degrees Fahrenheit. The heat causes the moose to travel even more north and relocate, which is something past generations of moose have not had to do. Moose that experience excessive heat suffer from heat stress. Heat stress causes them to lose weight, have increased heart rates, and they experience a decline in the efficiency of their bodily functions. They swim in small, usually shallow bodies of water to cool down when they can find one. If water cannot be found, they seek out shade instead. Another reason warmer weather is a problem for moose is because it prolongs tick season. Ticks cause them to suffer from a lack of blood and various possible diseases, which can be deadly to them. While there are countless studies on climate change, few of them are in relation to moose, since moose are not necessarily the most at risk. Though there are a handful of studies being done which touch on both the initial problem of increased temperatures as well as the problem that poses with ticks. Climate change isn't just about warming temperatures, but it certainly is one of the large indicators. Climate change has negative impacts on everyone, and being that we know how it impacts moose, That is one more reason to add onto the ongoing list of why we need to do everything in our power to reverse its lasting damage.